Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. So my pre-edition subscribers, welcome back to the channel. So if you have not noticed already, we saw on November the 4th, massive sweep victories for the Democratic Party, specifically for Democratic Socialist Mamdani. We talked about here the Democrat in New Jersey, the Democrat in Virginia, and not only that, they also won Prop 50 in California, Pennsylvania Supreme Court, the Virginia's House of Delegation, where they were able to flip 13 state Republican seats toward their side. You want to know what's really interesting about that? Those state delegates in Virginia were actually gerrymandered to make sure that they were readily reliable in Republican districts. That's very shocking. That's something we're going to talk about in another video. But massive victories for the Democrats on November 4th. And I said something big was coming. And specifically when it comes to New York City, it turned out there wasn't any National Guard. Yes, there were talked about bomb threats in polling places according to you guys. But for me, I feel like it's a movement, it's an energy, it's an aura, if you will. And now that we start to know who's the winner now, Donald Trump is now ramping up and starting to threaten a lot of these winners, saying that they're refusing to swear in Mamdani, try to declare the Insurrection Act or the Insurrection Clause to prevent him from taking office. Now, remember, one thing and one thing only, I've said this many times on the channel, the only way to defeat fascism, the only way to defeat authoritarianism is through socialism, or democratic socialism. Now, for those of you guys who have been with us a lot longer, you probably know that socialism is considered a dirty word, at least that was propagandized around the 1960s all the way till the 1990s. However, socialism is not bad. It has been instituted in a lot of other places like Europe, where they focus on a government that keeps its democratic norm, keeps its democratic principle, but have a government that works for the people. And that's what democratic socialism is. It's not like creating socialism like the Soviet Union. It's creating a socialism in terms of having a government that works and functions for the American people the same way it works and functions for the European people. So that's kind of like what it is, and that's why Doron Mamdani's win symbolizes that New York City is not a socialist city. It has just become a European-style city. And so I'm really excited to see what he's able to do, what he's able to accomplish, because this will set the goal. Now keep in mind as well, the Democratic Party is, in a way, undergoing its own undoing. As you probably already noticed now, the Democrats are starting to attack its own people, its own kind, in the name of moderate, in the name of centrism. Having a centrist moderate candidate is not going to help you win elections. The Democratic Party, the Democratic idealism is over. It has now been taken over by democratic socialism and those type of policies, those progressive policies, the humanitarian policies is really what it should be called. But that is what has been taken over. And the question is, will the Democrats embrace that or will they refuse to? Because if they refuse to, and I said this many times before, the Democratic Party will fall in the next election. And the same thing for the Republican Party as well. This is no longer a battle between the Republicans and the Democrats. This is now a battle between values and your movement. And if you can't align your values with the value in the movement will separate and start to divide. And that's what we're starting to experience now. Anyway, this video is being recorded on Thursday, November the 6th at 12:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This video is just for entertainment, for educational purposes only as well. And if you want to help out the channel, where you can do so by liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting the bell icon, engaging with the content, sharing this video with others, will really help boost the algorithm here on this YouTube channel. Okay, so let's go ahead, let's begin. We have a lot to get through into this video. My idea is to keep this video more shorter, on the shorter end of the spectrum, so don't expect a long video for today, but there will be more video coming out later today that I plan to post. I've been having some technical difficulties, just all of you guys know if you check my community page. So I thank you for all you guys who have responded. I will be getting back to you after work. I can see the color in the background is now blue. Can't fix it. Don't know how. And I'm not a technological genius. But anyway, let's go ahead. Let's begin. This has been way too long of an intro, but let's just get on. Okay, so the thing I want to talk about, let's talk about the psychic channeling that I had in regard to New York City. And that's going to tell us what happened and how New York City went and how New York City voted and what it means for New York City going forward, because this would also foretell how the city and the country's going. Okay, so let's see here. So this was recorded and, channeled on 12 days ago. So you can see this. You can go to my community post and you'll find that. But on the bottom, it was channeled on October the 24th, 2025 at 3:33 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to read it to you. Now, if you want to watch the full context of what we were talking about prior to Dora Mamdani's victory, go into the description or the video in the comment section below, and I will put the parts to those second channel. I'm going to read it to you. It says, dark days are ahead for New York City. But if they heed the warning and elect a mayor with heart and servitude, the city shall be saved. For that we say it shall. The desire of the city of capitalism is no more, but rather a reckoning of the old style, the old way. If somehow the man of heart loses, New York City will feel the spade that draws close to his neck, severing the head of what would have been the beast of resistance, of change, of progress. The matters of the city and the path it's on will experience turmoil and turbulence, but that is the captain who's on the ship that can either glide it toward a soft landing or a great smashing into a building. There will be no doubt but another great terrorism in the city, but for naught, it will come regardless of who comes. It's planned, it's premeditated, it's the rallying cry for those who seek outward for comfort, joy, and reasoning. The man of heart can give you all you need, but heed those who he sworn to protect the people from, will resist and cause premeditated violence to make the man of heart appear weak. To weaken the resistance, do not give in, do not sway for that your own heart will become dark. If you comply to the spade of heart, it will destroy you. You will become a them. Don't. New York City is beautiful. It has its own tune, its own ring, but it can be easily lost for what's coming. Do not sleep. Vote for the man of heart. He will sacrifice himself in exchange to protect you from the spade of heart, from the darkness from within and out. There are many who are looking to destroy the sacred city, but not their fail. It will be premeditated with an ally and an enemy. The truth on TV will be in between the lines. Their breath is yet to come. Do not give into darkness as this is their last attempt. Vote for and with your heart to elect a man with one, for that love can heal a broken city. You have one chance, one choice. Face better times or face destruction. Your choice. That was the second channel. It's empowering, it's enlightening. It tells you what is happening in the city. It tells you how, no matter who you elect as mayor of New York City, certain things are destined to happen in the city. It's who's at the top who will lead you. Are they going to lead you to a crashing, or are they going to lead you to a soft landing? And they were saying to be careful not to elect the man of spade, because your neck will be severed. The resistance, the beast, the progress will be cut off. But I'm happy to say that the heart was Dora Mamdani. So New York City chose the man of heart, not the man of spade. And so now you start to see now, as I said here, that there's a form of resistance forming, threatening to keep Dora Mamdani out of power at any will, at any chance they can get. And so we're going to take a look at now, what is the future of Dora Mamdani? And we'll talk about all the other Democratic victories. Are they going to get sworn in? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. So Spirit Angels tell me Dora Mamdani won his election on November the 4th. Okay, November the 4th, he won the mayor election in New York City. Will Dora Mamdani be officially sworn in as the next mayor, or will something stop him or become an obstacle to him becoming the next mayor of New York City? Okay, Okay, so they're going to try to stop him from taking power. They're going to try. All right. Dora Mamdani spirit. They're going to try to prevent him from taking power. Okay, so he's a man of a lot of plans. He has ambition. He has goals. He has perseverance. He also has strength. They're going to try to keep him out, but I don't think they're going to be successful in this. Since here you have on the top deck, here we have hidden enemies. Hidden enemies. While you're looking at the beauty, you don't see the wolf in the background. The wolf are watching you. They're the prey. But you're not paying attention. You're looking at the great victory. But you're not looking what's going to try to take him out. The bottom deck here is you have the resistance. This is the 8 of Wands. They don't want the resistance. Remember, New York City is a resistance city per what the channeling said. It's reversed because they don't want a city that can rebel against the status quo. Now, remember, the status quo is not just led by the Republicans. It's also led by the Democratic Party as well. And I said this many times before. You got to get yourself out of the mindset that the Democrats are for us and the Republicans are against us. No, they're both against you. Only select those who are for you. Whether they are Democrat or Republican, doesn't matter. If they are for you and you really feel in your heart that they have a heart, that they're willing to put aside their politics to be able to help you, then you got the right person. Doesn't matter about party politics. I would gladly vote for any party. I would gladly vote for any politician as long as they have a heart. And that is what you need to realize, is that this man here, and I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to harp on, I'm not trying to endorse Dora Mamdani, but for the first time in a real time, we have a politician with a heart. And that means a lot, especially to someone like me. And I don't know if it means a lot to you, but I know it means a lot to me. And especially the fact that it took place in a city very close to me. So, we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. We're asking the question, will Dora Mamdani be sworn in? Here's the Knight of Pentacles. This is an opportunity. He was able to stop things in his tracks. Something was moving, right? Something was moving. He was able to stop it. It's the Knight of Pentacles. It's in reverse. Followed by the Ace of Cups. He was able to light a fire. He was able to light a storm of resistance. This is the Ace of Cups. This is going to be a movement nationwide now. This is no longer going to be a movement just within the city. Remember what I said, is that in the channel, and I said how they're the form of progress. What happens when things are progressing, when things are resisting, when things are forming? It spreads. Love is invasive. Love can spread everywhere. And so, him being a man of heart can inspire other men and other women with heart to take up the mantle, to take up the positions of power. And so for the first time in America, America can actually have politicians who lead with their heart, not with their mind. And here you have the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles means opportunity. He has a lot of problems that he has to face, a lot of obstacles on his way to becoming the next mayor. So it means that during this time between November to January 1st, he's going to have a lot of obstacles. It's about creating his image. And one of the big things that they're going to try to do to tarnish Dora Mamdani's way or position in power is to try to destroy his reputation, to destroy his image, to invalidate his victory, to invalidate who Dora Mamdani is, to invalidate that victory. The Three of Wands is simply symbolizing that. The thing is that Dora Mamdani is also very repetitive. He's also creating this image of charisma. He's creating this image that socialism is scary. He's creating this image that progressivism and caring about humanity of others isn't scary, and it should never be. I completely agree with him. That's why it comes up here. They're going to try to destroy his image, but Dora Mamdani already is creating his image, which means she is canceling that negative energy out. Followed by the Ace of Pentacles reversed, which means the refusal to hand over power. This is the Ace of Pentacles. This means Eric Adams and the whole blockade are going to try to refuse power to Dora Mamdani. Now what's interesting is underneath the card here, we have the Pisces. We have here, despite hardship, he rises. Now remember, this is a salmon, and salmon tend to go to fresh water, which is upstream, to be able to lay eggs, to spawn, to create the next generation. Whereas salmon's going down means that they already spawned. These are babies heading into their adulthood to continue that cycle. This is the price you see. It's going up. It's telling me here that for Jordan Mamdani, he's going to be very aggressive. He's going to take on. Nothing's going to stop him because he knows that he's the winner. And he's going to walk in with that sense of confidence. Something that we haven't had from the Democratic Party in quite a while. We have the lovers card. The lovers card is unification, unifying a broken city. This is the lover. This is his goal. He is, in essence, he is the ambulance, is the word I'm using here, ambulance of Archangel Raphael. He's the healer. He is the lover. He is the protector. He's the man of heart. And so I do feel like he's going to protect a lot of people who are in the police form. He's going to not make them be so corrupt anymore. He's going to encourage them to be on the good side, to be on the side of heart. He's going to provide them with something, provide them with an opportunity where they don't have to rely on the system itself, but to rely on the people, the New Yorkers of the city, to do what's right for them, not do what's right for the politicians at the top. This is very different than what we see now. But this is the night of stories as well. It's also indicating as well he's going to be heavily focused on black women. He's going to be heavily focused on Latinos. I'm getting here Asian. I'm also getting healthcare, Medicaid, veterans. So he's going to be very focused on protecting groups that are the most vulnerable, who are the most exposed to being targeted. We have here as well as we have the Tower card in reverse. And the Tower card in reverse just means an upset. It's reverse. They're going to try to remove him. They're going to try to prevent him from taking power. I don't really see him being stopped. I do feel like he has this strong ambition that nothing could stop him. He's just going to keep going and going and going and going. This man has a lot of great potential heading in his early life. He has a lot of great potential, so I'm really excited to see where this man takes it. We have the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles means reverse. This is tipped. It's just like a rich person walking away. This behavior will be no more. This behavior would be no more. He's going to make it so that people are no longer homeless. There won't be any homeless people on the streets anymore. Not because he's going to get rid of them, he's going to make their lives better. And that's what I'm seeing in the cards. So this man, already based on the card, he's going to create a lot more progress in the city than the city has seen in the past 30 years. That's a great thing for the Democratic Party. The problem is, people are going to lack censors, or they're going to try to push centrism on the American people, but that's not what the people want. The people want socialism. They want a government that cares for them, not a government that is trying to appease the other side. Alright, so Spirit Angels, tell me about other Democratic victories along tonight in Virginia, Pennsylvania, California, Georgia. We had all these massive races in New Jersey. Talk about some of this. What does this mean for the Trump administration? Actually, a lot of those Democrats in every single race outperformed Harris in the 2024 presidential election. They all outperformed her by more than Biden even. They even outperformed Biden in 2020. That's how big this was. How the Democratic victory on November 4th in many states, how is Donald Trump feeling, and what is the future of this? What is the momentum? Where is the energy taking us? Okay, so it's taking us down a very interesting path. Here you have election night. This is, if you've been with me for quite a while, you are very well familiarized with the Three of Wands symbolizing election night, election victory. This is also overseeing the destruction of something. What is overseeing the destruction? Now we're talking about the Trump administration and what it means, right? And what it means for many Democratic victories across every single state. Democrats won across the board. Doesn't matter what state it was, they won. And here it is, you have the water card. And the water card symbolizes oil and water don't mix, they just erupt. It creates fire, it creates fuel. So what does this mean for the Trump administration? This means time is running out. This was the first indicator. Tonight, on Tuesday night, was the first indicator that things are not going the way the Republicans had hoped. Because remember one thing, if Donald Trump's approval rating was as high as he says it is, Donald Trump should be able to lift up the Republicans, right? But now, they're actually performing probably the worst on record since 2018. They're performing the worst since 2020. This is the water card. The water card is simply symbolizing that Donald Trump is out of time, out of power. It's only a matter of time left. I remember the 2027, right? Donald Trump will leave office around that time. He will leave office. He will not finish out his term. What we have here is we have the Three of Pentacles reversed. The Three of Pentacles reversed means balance. This is throwing out balance. It's the Three of Pentacles reversed. This is what the results would have looked like had balance not been manipulated, had balance not been thrown out. Remember, the machine, the rigged machine, only comes out, really, when it's during a presidential election with Trump on the ballot, or when the Republicans are on the ballot. It doesn't come out any other time, because they don't care, because they know that they'll win, that they'll be able to rig and destroy the election, as long as they have just enough votes to flip away from the Democrats, that they'll be able to be swept into power. Now, underneath the Three of Pentacles reversed, which means the votes have been counted legitimacy, we have the Lovers card in reverse. How is Donald Trump feeling? He feels like he wants to restrict an amendment. He wants to restrict voting rights for somebody, for a voting group. Now, if you guys may have not remembered, women in particular led a lot of people through a lot of Democratic victories on Tuesday night. And I'm not saying this is like a prediction. This just came up in the cards, and I'm just referencing a thing that was still online. That there are many politicians, there are many MAGA people, a lot of MAGA supporters now indicating that they want to remove this 19th Amendment, that women shouldn't have the right to vote because, well, they feel too empathetic to the situation of the country, that they're delivering the wrong message. Or even women are saying this about other women. So keep that in mind. Not all women are on the side of women. The same thing with a black man or a black woman. Not all black people are on the same side. Right? So don't assume one thing. Classify everybody as individual. Everybody has their own thought process. Everybody has their own mindset. Nobody's in a subgroup. Nobody's in a subcategory. And I think that is what is being driven here. They're trying to classify women as somebody who, or gender entirely, as something that cannot think correctly, cannot think progressively. But the thing is, they make it so hard for women to want to support their concept, their values, their ideology. So how would you expect women to vote for your stuff if you are so dead against them? Makes no sense. Here we have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is keeping an eye on things. We're keeping an eye on things. This is liberty watching closely. These are democracy watching closely. This is democracy in action. That's what the Queen of Cups is saying here. This is democracy in action. And this is how you rebel. This is how you take down a corrupt government. This is literally what the cards are saying. And here you have it, the Eight of Cups reversed. And they fall. That's the word I got. And they fall. Going out to vote, getting people out to vote, spreading the message, understanding that misinformation is not needed. Riding above everything. Voting is a part of resistance, and the cards are saying that here. Donald Trump realized that. He understands that. we have the Page of Swords, a new renewal. A new energy has been born. Something has been reborn. But something of the past. This is something not of America's future. America never had this energy before. America never had this energy. Something has been revigorated. Something has been reborn. And the thing that's really been reborn here is the concept of humanitarianism. And it goes across the entirety of the United States, not just New York City. I'm saying that humanitarian altogether, progressivism, wanting to have a better society, make life better for everybody. That is what this page of swords is saying. It's saying that there is a future, there is an energy, a movement. And this is, if you guys are familiar with the medieval ages, with the Enlightenment movement, right? The illusionment has crumbled, and people start to talk about progressivism, to start to talk about technology and all these things. We're in the age of Aquarius now. This is the moment of love. This is really about love versus hate. And I choose to be a part of the love movement, not part of the hate movement. And underneath this page of stories here, we have the Ten of Wands here. It's creating an obstacle for those who are at a disadvantage to not be able to have the same opportunities. It's reverse. It's creating and making something that's not equal, but something that is equitable. And equitable means creating a situation that is fair for everybody, not creating an equal playing field. For example, you take an elephant and a monkey, and you tell an elephant, climb that tree. And the monkey can climb the tree, but the elephant can't. Yes, equality because you're given the same opportunity to do the same task, but it's not equitable because it's not fair in the same situation. This is creating fairness in all opportunities, not creating equality, but creating fairness where everybody can thrive, even those with autism, those with Alzheimer's, those with cancer, those with medical ailments, those who are veterans, those who are minorities, who are poor, those who are middle class, those who are rich. Creating equity. And here you have with death, an ending coming, and the ending of the paradigm, ending of the shift. So what does this mean? This means that the Democratic victory tonight doesn't mean that the Democrats are going to be swept into power all across the country, because remember, it talks about more than just a Democrat. It talked about the progressive values, talked about humanitarianism. Any politician, any government that is so insinuated on creating a form of love, working with the people, not against the people, they will be swept into power. This is the death card. The death card symbolizes the end of the old paradigm, the old structure. If anybody who is against those who are of heart, those who want to work and do the best thing they can do for the people, they will be swept out of power. The death means an ending is coming for those who think with their mind, not think with their heart. And I think that's a beautiful thing that's coming. And here you have it, the Earth, what symbolizes the 2028 presidential election. It symbolizes an ending of a structure. It ended what the old paradigm has always been. So, for example, and I've said this many times before, Gavin Newsom will not be the Democratic nominee in 2028. And a lot of people are saying, yeah, he needs to be. Gavin Newsom is not the man of heart. He will lose the 2028 election. And I say that very lightly because the only way the Democratic Party can really win is they need to elect somebody with a man of heart. That could be for women and men. They need somebody of a heart, somebody of humanitarianism. Because remember what the Psychic Channel instead when Donald Trump died, what happened after Donald Trump's death. I talked about how you need to be able to have somebody who promises to build things better, not somebody who's going to rebuild things back to where they were. Because the system failed, that's why we got Donald Trump. Donald Trump is a symptom of a sick, injured country. He didn't just come out of the blue. He came because the system was failing. The system wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. It was working for those who designed it to keep them in power, but it wasn't working for the collective. Donald Trump came into power for that exact reason. Having a politician that rebuilt those same structures that created Donald Trump will usher in another Trump. That's what I'm saying here. Now let's take a look. Let me find that reading for you so you can actually understand what it is that I'm saying here. Mm. Okay, so here are the two psychic challenge here. This is called the Game Plan Operation 2347. This is challenge at 2:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on May the 8th, 2025. I'm going to read it here. It says here, as you all know or have heard our message regarding Happy Death Day and a new dawn, we are writing to you to let you know the game plan. You may find yourself wondering right about now, what game plan? You may find yourself wondering right about now, what game plan? Well, I got news. Today you'll find out. Trump represents the evil of the United States of America, but he represents it so well because at its core it has always been evil. That one. America was founded on an evil principle, and it will die for those same principles that erected it, its own undoing, if you will. The reason for what's happening now is due to evil. Therefore, the only way to rid of it is to die. America must die to be saved. It must fall so others can finally see how treacherous they were to the core value, an empty promise of liberty and justice for all. Trump's death will mark the end of a cycle and a renewal of an old. It may appear good, but this period will be met with failure for the next president or leader who swears to restore, quote, the old dog and order. America, have you not learned that the reason for Trump is to oust out the evil to the public and to degrade every aspect of government? You are not to restore it, but to build it back better. Anyone who promises to restore or rebuild it will be met with failure. They will rather restore the old system that created Trump than start fresh. It was never about you. Trump gave them what they never had: power. When presented with the right conditions, Democrats will become the same as when MAGA. Be independent of such belief, and do not buy into the two-party BS. Stand in your morals and be ready to defend them against two-party theocracy. Quote, an independent is coming. Democrats may betray you next. End of channel at 2:38 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on May the 8th, 2025. Now, this is interesting because this came out well before Gavin Newsom. Now, remember, the reason why I say Gavin Newsom, well, it could be any Democrat who represents the old way, who represents the mind instead of the heart, will try to build something that created Trump in the beginning. You don't want somebody like that. You want somebody who's going to create a humanitarian approach. That is who you want. That is who you want to lead. That's who you want to win. Now, it's very possible, based off the channel itself, that Gavin Newsom, if let's say Gavin Newsom is the man of mind instead of the man of heart, he can win the presidential election 100%. But he will fail. He will fail. And I'm going to read you the last second challenge, and I gotta go. It's called The Rise of the Independent, channeled at 2:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on May the 8th, 2025. Just as we spoke before about the game plan 2347 and the brief mention of Trump's death, and our wanting to not follow any leader whose plan it is to restore the old dog rather than build back better. To stay independent in your own thoughts and to not buy into the two-party theocracy. I spoke of Democrats betraying you possibly because Trump gave them what they never had: power, real power. You are one of the same like MAGA. Do not befell to the two parties or drunk on power. Oh, excuse me, hold on. They are one of the same like MAGA. Do not befell to it, for that an independent is coming. You will come at a time when the two parties are drunk on power. You will know for that there will be pineapples with a spiky animal representing this party. It's possible this person may come from the tropics or may have a scandal related to the island. But it's made up. Watch for the party or person who mentioned this in the campaign trail, for that they themselves are guilty and just projecting. He, however, will not win this election, but will come very close to doing so. This will be the last election where both the Democrats and or Republicans have significant support. There is a 57% probability that Democrats and Republicans will merge together. The frontrunner may or may not run in the next election, but his party will surely be there. A new progressive party will rise due to its inspiration in this election, and a group of independents known as the Washingtonians, with an oath to no party loyalty. America, if it had not done so already, will do away with its current structure of government to better account for a multinational party system. This is the best version of the United States for a more truer and proper democratic system. America chose fascism, but it's what comes afterwards that matters the most. Either way, it was coming one way or another, so you might as well have it now, so the greatness could begin after. The reason for Trump coming was simple: to destroy a fake democracy where leaders are already pre-chosen and instead replace it with the words it once spoke. We, the people, will only accept a life through the pursuit of happiness because of a truer liberty and justice for all. Choose others over individualism. Democracy over party. End of channel on at 3:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on May the 8th, 2025. Alright guys, I'm going to leave you with that. We have a lot to get through today in another video, but let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and I'll see you on the next video. Until then, peace out. I love you.